Hello YouTube, this is Indiana James here. This is a video in direct response to Asmondgold's talking about the currency, premium currency that may or may not be added to World of Warcraft. And I say allegedly because it hasn't been 100% confirmed. Well, first of all, what's it called? It's called Hearthsteel. Secondly, what is it going to be used for? Well, people are saying it's going to be used for the new housing that's coming out. And that housing is going to be items are going to be able to be purchased on the store. Okay, so every game on this planet microtransacts you with cosmetic items, and more importantly, some games do pay to pay to win. So you buy something that's a lot better than what you can get in the game, giving you an unfair advantage. Pay to win.
Good day to you. See you later. See you
First
around.
thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you
Safe
that World
travels.
of Warcraft is not
Have a
pay to
good one.
win.
See you later. See you around.
Secondly, there are things in the game that you can purchase in the game with gold. There are 1,200 housing decorations right now. Some of them are really awesome looking that you purchase with in-game gold, right? Um, and no, I didn't buy any of my gold. I had 200k when MOP started, which was a lot of gold. At the time, the most expensive mount in the game at that time was Traveler's Tundra Mammoth. The yak wasn't even introduced at all at that point. And I made all my gold. When I started, um, I had 210,000 gold when I started MOP, which was a lot of gold. The yak mount is 120,000 gold. Okay, so I don't see the problem in uh, in having a currency for cosmetic items. I had a gift card for a year and a half that I have, and I bought this because I'm a big fan of a movie called Clash of the Titans. It was made in like the 70s or 80s, and it really captured the, that whole mythology. It really did. It was great, and I really wanted it. And it was a cool mount. But then I started seeing them around. Everyone had them, so it lost its luster. Lost its luster. And now I have the best mount in the game, which is this. Best mount in the game, in my opinion. Other than this. So, Asmongold, I want to talk to you. What is the problem with having a currency outside of World of Warcraft where you can purchase cosmetic items? Housing is not Garrisons 2.0. It's not going to allow you to level up or level up professions. It's not going to give you any benefit um, with these items. Okay, so I want to know what the problem is having an in-game currency um, to purchase cosmetics. the you know he sits there and says, "Oh well, mounts. I told people not to buy them. Why not? Why not? Microtransactions are a thing. They have been a thing since the early 2000s, and loot boxes. Would you rather people have to spend 50 cents on a loot box and have 150 items to shoot that loot box randomly generates for you, and you only have that 0.1% chance to get that Brontosaurus mount, for example, or would you rather just buy the Brontosaurus? Those are your options. Blizzard is not required to put every single mount that they make in the game for you to get it in the game. Likewise, I say that only because there's people out there that said, "Oh no, you pay a sub." Yeah, you do. Oh no, you only pay a sub for access to the servers. You don't pay a sub for mounts. You don't pay a sub for achievements. You don't pay a sub for gear. You don't pay a sub for anything. In fact, Asmongold, you don't even own anything in the game. This is all Blizzard, you know. So I look at World of Warcraft like I am paying not only for access to the servers, but I'm paying for the content that's in the game that I can get. Okay? If Blizzard puts a mount on the store and not able to be purchased in the game, it doesn't apply. It's not in the game until you buy it. But if you don't buy it, it's not in the game. So it's a separate thing. And I think that that is a good thing to keep the game going. Now, if they were selling gear, I would be 100% against it. I wouldn't play the game anymore because that is not right. You know, pay to win is not a good thing. WoW is not pay to win. WoW's never been pay to win. Well, yeah, but it's pay to play. Sure, it is. You pay a subscription every month to play the game. That's pay to play. And Asmondgold, you talk about traders tenders where you have to purchase them. No, I don't. I don't have to buy any traders tenders. None. I've only had to purchase. I've only purchased one thing off Trader Tender. I don't have to buy any more Trader Tenders. I get 500 Trader Tenders a month for nothing. Like that's like an added perk to the subscription. So if you want to talk crap about the game, perhaps you should play it. You know, I don't see why you have to even talk about WoW anymore. You're a political activist now on YouTube with you know some some minority, small, measly minority group for whatever it is that you're politically for or against, which is fine and that's good that you do that. But you don't play WoW. What you say has no bearing on World of Warcraft or its players. You don't you bring up the past like anybody should give a shit and nobody don't but nobody doesn't. Okay? I ran Karazhan when it was current content within the first 3 weeks and nobody in my group died. Not once. I didn't get no undying achievement. You know? I ran Gruul's Lair. I at least remember running it at least once and nobody died. I mean, I it took me 8 months to get my tier 4 helmet token to drop. 8 months straight of running it every week. Never dropped. It dropped one time. I got my helmet on my Warlock. What does that do? What does that say to others? It doesn't mean anything. My insane title. I got it the hard way. I went and got the Chandrilar to Exalted. Asmongold, if you did that, great. If you didn't, you don't know what pain is in this video game. That was terrible. The worst thing. I honestly think the original Insane title was worse than going in through Dax Ramus one time and getting Undying. Okay? I think the Insane title, when it was originally made, was much worse than that. It meant a lot more than that. Because a lot of people don't give a shit about the gear treadmill anymore, man. Let's face it, nobody does really. I don't. My item level 688. You think I'm going to go in the gear treadmill? No way. After the gear treadmill of Karazhan for 8 months for a tier 4 helmet, I'm not doing it. Like, I will run content until I see it, and then I'm done with it. The gear treadmill, in my opinion, is retarded. It's meant for stupid people to play. It's meant for people who don't even know how to play a video game, so they go and sit on the gear treadmill every week, hoping to get that one piece of gear only for it to be irrelevant in the next content patch. When this farm is sitting here generating me passive income every day in the game, my end game is reach gold cap. And when housing comes along, my end game is also going to be getting my house to look the way I want. To get my guild with just enough people to run endeavors in my own neighborhood where I don't have to deal with anybody being stupid. Your DPS sucks. Your tanking is bad. Your heal is bad. People in this society in the United States have changed. Asmongold. People don't care anymore. People will not deal with that anymore. I won't. My family won't. I don't care if my DPS sucks. My son doesn't care if he tanks really well or not. My other son doesn't care if he heals good enough or not. Because if you're clearing the content, who cares? My son is running mythics now, tanking them by himself, pugging them with no add-ons. None. And he's clearing the content. Does it mean he's the best tank in the world? No. My other son is healing. He's healed all the heroic versions of this expansion's done raids, and he's starting mythic. Do you think he's the best healer in the game? No. But is he clearing the content? Sure. They've asked to take me along. I could go. Do I want to? No. Because I've already seen the story. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it again. I don't need to see Omega raid again. Just like after I cleared Lich King, I didn't go back. I didn't need to see him again. I did it already. I've seen it. You know, there are much more important things to do in this game that have a longer lasting value to them than running some raid, getting some gear, and getting some lame ass title that doesn't mean anything. The Undying means jack shit this now. It means nothing. Nobody cares. The Insane title means jack shit now. It means nothing. Okay? You're not some great, oh, awesome, godly person because you got some title. I never ever looked at that. If I were to see you in the game and you had that in Wrath, you wouldn't mean anything to me. It wouldn't mean that you're a better player than me. Just like if I got ICC 25-man heroic mode down when it was relevant and I got the mount from that. Doesn't mean that I'm a better player than anybody. Doesn't mean that they're a better player than me. Nobody is better than anybody in a video game. It's a video game. It's not hard. Okay? It's not. Okay? A lot of this is based on luck. A lot of raid encounters are based on luck. Okay? One small move, an unlucky RNG in a raid encounter, and you could wipe the whole group. Am I going to feel that someone's better than me because they got lucky in one run that they did in Naxxramas? No. Great for them. That's not something that I ever gave a shit about. It's not something that I did that I wanted to go. I didn't like that that title in the first place. Okay? And I don't like it that people like you can talk crap on WoW and you don't even play retail. Oh, everybody wants classic and such. I was in vanilla. It was possibly the stupidest leveling and the worst endgame I've ever experienced in a video game. Bar none. Molten Core was crap. BWL was stupid. I didn't like it. You know, I wanted other things to do in vanilla. You know, I almost quit in vanilla because it was so damn boring. Like I could level up a character here and there. I'd much rather do that than running around in a raid and fighting some monster to get some piece of gear and say, "Ooh, I did it, guys! Look how great I am!" You know, I once saw a warrior. He had Thunder Fury, and he was talking crap on someone in Stormwind in vanilla. I walked up to him on my level 45 warrior and said, "Why do you think you're so great? Look at me." And he linked his blessed blade of the whatevers. I said, "So?" He's like, "Well, I'm a better player because I have that." No, you're not. No, you're not. You just got some magical little orange item that it's not going to mean anything later on when Burning Crusade comes out. It's pointless. You are stuck on a gear treadmill, man. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for people that are stuck on a gear treadmill. You know, if gear was a one and done type thing, like you do it once and you get your stuff and you see the the mechanics and you see the boss, I could see the point. But having to go back over and over and waste all that time and do it over and over is absolutely the most stupidest, mind-boggling thing I've ever seen somebody do. It it it, it it's just it's almost as it's worse than daily quests. Because at least in daily quests, once you get it done, you're done with it. And it never gets pointless. Having that farm I just showed you generates me what 8,000 gold a week just by that farm alone by selling those spirits of harmony. It is totally irrelevant. Anybody who doesn't have a farm is a complete idiot. Sorry, it's a dumbass. It's really. If you're working on gold cap, you're dumb. You should be having a farm. So I have all this stuff, you know, and it doesn't mean anything. I have this cool pets, which are both not that easy to get. Doesn't mean anything. I have titles in the game that don't mean anything. So Asmongold, you just explain to me why you don't feel that we should have an in-game shop. The only other thing that I regret not getting is that damn Brontosaurus mount. Brontosaurus mount with the auction house. That helps me as a fisher and a miner to be able to have that. It sucks not. And you know what? They're bringing it back, Asmongold. They're gonna bring it back. You know why? His players requested it. I requested it. I made posts on the forums, and I'm buying four. I'm buying four Brontosaurus mounts the minute they hit the shop. Because my family all like mining, herbalizing, and fishing. All of us do. Easiest way to make money. Never have to buy gold in the game or anything. It is a person. Let's wave. It is an insane way to make gold. It is. So that's my little video. I want to know what you all think. I want to know if you guys feel that it's necessary um, to not have in-game currency, the Hearthsteel currency. Again, it's not been confirmed. It is not does not mean it's going to be on the shop. It could just be for China. Remember, China they had something happen that was data mined, and then come to find out it was only for China. So don't discredit that either. That could be a thing. Okay. But my problem is people talk crap about WoW, and it has 7+ million subscribers now. Um, and it's doing it is in a good spot. You know, they're making the classes a little bit easier to play, or a lot easier in some classes cases to play in the next expansion. They're removing combat add-ons. Thank God for that. Like I refused to have deadly boss mods until ICC because I did not want to run an add-on like that. And finally, my group was like, "Hey, well, you do really good. We just need you to get deadly boss mods for ICC because we just want you to be on the same page and blah blah." All right. Like before, they've been trying to get me to get deadly boss mods since Nax Ramus um, in Wrath of the Lich King, and I was like, "Nope, I'm good. I can do it. I can do the game without it." And they kept saying, "Hey, I understand you do the game without it, and it's fine, but it can make your gameplay a lot easier for you. That was always the thing, a lot easier for you, a lot easier for you." And so finally, I caved, and sure, it made the bosses easier to play, but it wasn't that fun. It made it kind of like a, I mean, let's face it, what are PvE experience encounters? What are they? They are nothing but a uh, a scripted event. And once you learn the script, you pass. That's it. That's all. It doesn't mean anything. To me, PvE is like, while it is fun, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm saying that it's trivial. It doesn't matter. Every boss is scripted. It is. There's no list of 800 abilities and you get 50 of them as it's going through and you'll never know. There's none of that. Every boss is a scripted event. So to sit there and say, "Well, I'm a better player because I can learn this scripted event and I can get past it," and you can't, well, no, that's not necessarily true. I know some of the worst players in this game back in the day who shouldn't even be caught dead in a raid, and there they were, and there they passed the scripted event. Did they do mediocre? Sure. They're like at the bottom of healing, tanking, and DPS. But I still took them on these runs with my guild because, hey, everybody deserves to see the content at least once. We took them, they passed it all, and they said thanks. They were my friends, and they said, I'm like, "You want to come back next week?" Nope. I said, "Why?" I'm like, "I done it. I seen it. That's all I needed." Now, at the time, I was like, "Well, you're not going to get any gear." But now it's like, I get you. Gear treadmills are for the stupid. All right, well, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about the currency. Maybe it'll be in the game, and you can purchase it. But who cares? Cosmetic. Let me know why it's a bad thing, Asmondgold. Thanks.